What if Kommo-o was in Gen 1 OU? I couldn't think of a Thanksgiving theme for this one, so I decided to go with the next best thing. A martial arts dragon from Hawaii that like does something to its soul to get like an omni boost. That's basically the same thing. And this is one I'm surprised I haven't done sooner, because it has two relatively weaker types in Gen 1, but also like manages to combine them and actually take advantage of both of its stabs, that being Dragon and Fighting. And yes, even though the resistances are pretty nice, for the most part I would consider Dragon to be a weak type in Gen 1. But luckily, Kommo-o is like Game Freak's favorite Pokemon or whatever, because it has not one, but two signature moves. And yes, I know one of them was introduced in Generation 8, and normally I don't go with Pokemon in like newer movesets. I always use the original. But its signature move in Gen 8 is literally just supposed to be its replacement for losing its Z move, where it basically had a Z move, which acted as an Omni Boost. So as far as I'm concerned, it might as well be its signature move for Gen 7 as well. So it will be allowed in this video, along with its other stab move, Changing Scales, or whatever it's called. Both of these are really interesting, and especially for stats insane as this. Like, holy crap. With stats like this, it actually is on par with Mewtwo. Because it has, like, really good defense, really good attack and special. Even if it's 100 special, it's still really good. Good HP and speed. That speed lets you outspeed Cloyster. That's pretty handy. Doesn't really save you too much, but you definitely appreciate it. So, I don't even know where to start. Because outside of the stats, though, one thing that does really hold it back, and I do think would actually balance it out, would be its horrible, horrible defensive typing. Like, holy crap. Dragon Fighting is good offensively, but defensively, you don't care if there's no fairies, because you're weak to Psychic, you're weak to Ice, and you're weak to Flying. Like, all of those are just, like, super, super annoying. And unlike with the other Dragon type I covered, like, a few days ago, Hydreigon, Kommo-o doesn't take the most advantage out of its, Dragon typing, because it resists Electric, but then it's weak to, Zapdos' Drill Peck, and Jolteon paralyzing it is really annoying. It doesn't have any, like, good resistances or immunities from its fighting typing, only resisting, Rock. That's, like, the only the relevant thing it resists. And then, like, Fire, not so much, because you can still get burned, and you care a lot more about burn than Hydreigon does. And Water is okay, but, like, every single Water type is either, like, Starmie, which has Psychic and Blizzard, or it's Swellow, where even with you resisting, it's still a really big struggle to take it on. And that's assuming you have the coverage to take it on in the first place. So, it just doesn't take a good use of its Dragon typing. And a lot of it has to do with the fighting typing holding it back, which is really unfortunate. But with stats like these, and with the move pool you're about to see, maybe that's a good thing. Because for a move pool, it is pretty tight. Like, again, we have Changing Scales and Changer's Soul. I honestly think that Changer's Soul is fine. Maybe just Scales would have been enough. But considering it has such a bad, defensive typing, I feel like losing 33% of your HP is very fair, since there was a legitimate risk of either 1, you getting killed by Blizzard or Psychic anyways, or 2, this is way more important, even with that special boost, you're still probably gonna get crit a lot, which means you'll just die regardless of how bulky you are. So I think it's fair. And changing scales, maybe adding both is a little bit too good, but it's a Dragon move. I honestly don't think that Dragon moves in Gen 1 will ever be broken, not even Dragon Dance, or something, especially not Draco Meteor. So, like, what does this really add? Just a strong move that one Pokemon can use that's neutral against everything, except for Dragonite? Yeah, that's strong, no doubt about it, but it won't be game-breaking. We're going to skip Counter entirely. Earthquake is good. You mainly use it for Gengar. because you already have like a better fighting move, like a literal fighting move for the normals. So it's, yeah, just for Gengar and maybe Rhydon, but even then, like Low Kick is probably better for Rhydon too. But being able to be used on Gengar is good. It helps you from the Gengar matchup being a bad one, but it's still like overall good consistent damage. Like, it's probably the main move you should use if you want a physical move. But it also has a lot of strong special moves as well. Fire Punch, not really one of them. Ice Punch is good, but like it's still like Ice Punch. So even though like ice coverage, and as you'll see with Thunder Punch, Bulk Beam coverage, it's good, but not really needed. Especially since Ice Punch is such low base power, it's not really going to help you with the Exeggutor matchup that much. And while it can hit hard against Rhydon, especially if you already have a special boost, like Low Kick, like Earthquake, or even just neutral changing scales, does just as much, if not more. So Thunder Punch we'll get to, but Ice Punch, probably not worth it. But it's good to have if you want it. And Low Kick, this is already pretty good, but it gets even better when you think about how in Gen 1, it has a 30% chance to flinch. So being able to outspeed the normals after you get a boost, and then just being able to just make them completely miss a turn entirely, that's really good. And it means that Kommo-o can be a really big threat, and that you actually take fighting moves seriously in Gen 1, which we always gotta love when that happens. Rock Slide could be good against Zapdos, but it also just has the tools to just take on Zapdos in general, especially with changing scales. It's worth considering, but probably not like amazing. And then Thunder Punch, unlike Fire Punch or Ice Punch, and I think I missed Flamethrower. It also has Flamethrower, which I guess you can consider. But Thunder Punch, you actually do consider. It's your best way of fighting against Slowbro. Since, you know, like, even with, like, your Changer's, Soul, like, Slowbro getting Amnesia Boost is so terrifying. And not to mention, it's also your best way of fighting against Starmie as well. You can survive at least one Blizzard, and if they waste a turn paralyzing you, that's even better. And Thunder Punch becomes a 2-hit KO at that point. So, its electric coverage really does save it. But there's also movesets where you won't use it, so it's just up to you. But I think, in general, it might be one of its main moves, but I don't know for sure. Definitely one you would see a lot at the very least. It has Hyper Beam, and Mega Punch and Mega Kick are bad. And it didn't consider using Skill Shot in Gen 8, or is it just Showdown being dumb? Either way though, amazing stats, phenomenal move pool, but just a really bad defensive typing. So it kind of balances out in some ways. Or maybe it doesn't. Because like this dude would, no doubt about it, he would be OU and he would dominate a lot. I don't know like what tier he would actually be in, or when it comes to like the viability, whether it be like A rank, B rank, whatever. It's one of those ones where I would really have to see it actually used like in practice. But I could see it becoming one of the best Pokemon. Unfortunately, I think it's a little too late to consider him for the Generation Jumble. Maybe for another season. But, by the way, you should vote for the Generation Jumble. We only have 2 more days to vote. And in yesterday's, or actually no, like today's video, because earlier today I made a video going over all of the different candidates that are nominated for Generation Jumble. 2 that I forgot to mention are Porygon Z and Sceptile. So, like, those are also 2 Pokemon you can vote for. Be sure to vote. I will be announcing the Pokemon on Saturday, and it'll be a lot of fun. I hope you'll be there. Now let's get on to the replay, shall we? Always starting off with the boy himself. We got Tauros. And Wizard's annoying. A critical hit just murders you. You can survive and get a boost off, but then at that point you're really relying on a flinch from Low Kick. So don't go against the Tauros when it's at full HP, but you can revenge kill it, or if you've already got a boost off, at that point you probably do just win the 1v1, assuming they don't get a crit on Blizzard. So it's could go either way. Same cannot be said for Snorlax, but for once that's a really good thing, because you're faster, you have Low Kick, and you can hit hard specially too. So whatever Snorlax set is using, it's irrelevant, because even Amnesia Reflect lacks. You just have the tools to where you can easily damage it. It can't kill you in time, even if it tries healing. Like, funny enough, even if it had max special or the reflect here, if you really wanted to, you could just go for another change of soul, and then just do even more damage. So Snorlax is just a sitting duck against you. And it's not much better for Chansey. Because, like, that's how much a crit does, almost kills you. I would imagine a regular roll kick does like half your health. So it can, like, heal, but then you can just ignore the speed drop with Change Your Soul. And while roll kick missing is annoying, not the worst thing in the world. Like, this like, replay here is probably, like, the best case scenario for Chansey. And even then, it takes so much damage, and even, like, Reflect probably doesn't save it. So another great matchup, which, or maybe it's good, because the crits also, like, Kommo-o got lucky for. I don't know. Alakazam, on the other hand, is just completely unwinnable. Like, luckily, because it's Gen 1, you don't actually, like, kill yourself when using Change Your Soul. Which I'm pretty sure, like, that's how it works in other games. Or other gens. But either way, Alakazam always spams you, or always Psychic spams you. You die, you get crit, it outspeeds, nothing you can do. Just give up. Don't waste your Kommo-o against it. And even with a actual special boost, it probably doesn't do that much better. Because Alakazam can still crit. And against Cloyster, maybe it's better not even go for Change Your Souls, just to go straight for Changing Scales. But even then, I'm not sure if Changing Scales does enough. It might be just a, not only could it might just be a 2-hit or 3-hit KO, but I don't know how much Blizzard would do against you when you don't have a special boost. So I would say it's probably just a bad matchup against Cloyster, no matter what. And against Gengar, it's weird. If it gets Hypnosis, that's a big danger. If it hits Psychic, that's also a big danger. So even if there's something already asleep, Gengar can still do a lot of damage to you. But at the same time, Earthquake hits very hard. And if you get a Change Your Soul up, Gengar is probably screwed. So could go either way. And I skipped the Jolteon Executor matchup. Spoiler alert, Executor is also an unwinnable matchup for Kommo-o. And Jinx is, I put it in bad, but sometimes I wonder if it could potentially be, it could go either way. Most likely not, because Kommo-o would need a lot of things to go right for it in order for that to happen. But because Jinx is so low in bulk, and since, you know, Waffle Kiss isn't 100% accurate, Kommo-o could get lucky, but it's just very unlikely. And even this, like, a replay here, like, a lot of things went bad for Jinx. Kommo-o even got to change her soul up and a crit, and it still lost. So, I'm sorry, but, you know, it's just how it is sometimes. And then with Rhydon, I'm not sure if going for Change Your Soul is worth it. It probably is, because, like, its Earthquake doesn't do as much as you would, as much as you might think. And luckily, just with Low Kick and Changing Scales, that's already enough just to take out Rhydon. Changing Scales is a 2-hit KO. But going for Low Kick first is probably better, because you might get a flinch like you saw there. So just don't really think about Ice Punch. It's not going to help you. Just go for Changing Scales if you really want a special move. Even Flamethrower is probably better. And then Slowbro. Like, this is another reason why I think the Elemental Punches are just so overrated. And why I don't think Pokemon having them automatically makes them good. Because even though they give good coverage, they're still low base power, which is 75. So, like, even here, like, with Kommo-o getting the speed boost, it becomes faster than Slowbro again after the paralysis. Because of that one glitch, Slowbro going for Amnesia already makes it faster again. Which is really interesting, actually. And now you just have a Kommo-o, which takes still a good amount of damage from, you know, the boosted Surf. And it's just basically begging for a crit. If it doesn't get a crit, Slowbro can probably just end up killing you. Because this is an extremely close, could go either way, between both Pokemon. Kommo-o's one special boost, crit rate, and, you know, access to Thunder Punch, can help it. And also, funny enough, like with Kommo-o boosting its speed again, it finally outspeeds Slowbro again. So just really funny how that works out. But I can't really say who has a better matchup here. It's just there's just a lot of things that can go wrong for both of them. Which I'm not sure if you would have expected that, with Slowbro's only real move being Surf. But that's just how it is. We only got 2 replays left, and this one's Starmie. The first 2 replays I did had either Starmie critting or Kommo-o getting killed by paralysis luck. So, it could go either way, there's no doubt about it. Because Kommo-o can, you know, do a lot of damage, it has a boost up already. But at the same time, Starmie is just 1 crit from killing it. Or paralysis luck, if you even bother going for it. Good chance you don't bother, since if you go for 1 Blizzard, then it goes for Changing Soul. You can probably just kill. So I don't know. Could go either way, but it probably just depends on who gets sent out first to determine who actually wins. And then last but not least, we got Zapdos, who has super effective Drill Peck, which is definitely annoying. But luckily, Changing Scales already does like a decent amount of damage. A 3-hit KO. And I think Drill Peck is almost a 3-hit KO. Or maybe a 4-hit KO. Always keep in mind that you always gotta keep it, like, account for, you know, Kommo-o always, like, beating 33% less health. So that should probably just be considered for its main HP. Just in my opinion. But it can put up a fight against Zapdos, but Zapdos can do the same. And here is the ranking. Maybe... Actually, no, I think I agree with Chansey being great. I'm not sure why I consider it being good. But this is what I have. A lot of Pokemon, like, everything in Could Go Either Way can legitimately just take Kommo-o out really easily if it, you know, just gets lucky. But at the same time, Kommo-o also can just kill all of them if it already has a, you know, a Changing Soul up. And just for everything here for the most part, outside of maybe, like, Executor, if Kommo-o already has a boost up, it can be a huge threat for everything in the game. But at the same time, it's also very fragile, and it kind of needs to get that boost off in order to threaten everything. So even though I gave it 2 signature moves, I don't think it'd be the end of the world. In fact, I think, for the most part, the meta would be fine. What do you think? Do you think Kommo-o would be overpowered in Gen 1? Do you think it would be, like, one of the best OU Pokemon? Or do you think it's typing and just being, like, fragile because of the Pokemon that are strong against it? It would be fine. It wouldn't, like, be as dominant as you might think. In fact, you might even need a more skilled trainer to actually pull it off. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American viewers, which is like 50% of you. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, this is Groundback, and I look forward to hearing from you.